Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Iain Bruce.
And Marcus Hurley.
Iain. Do you want to kick off because you've been gone a while?
Thanks, Robert, I will. What would you like me to kick off with?
I'm quite interested to find what remains of Edith Finch.
Right, so this is a game like Gone Home and Esther. It's not like any of those, but it's like that a bit. Jeff Canata, 2 N's and 1 T, in the Americas, posted something on Facebook saying, "Oh, you've got to play this." And I just thought I'd take a risk. I just thought I'd take a punt. And kind of 5 hours later, I have to say to everybody, just get the game. Just get it. Just get it. Stop what you're doing now, buy the game, just get it. And that's all I'm going to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I definitely want to play it. I'm kind of going to wait till I've got my new setup, though. I'm spinning a lot of plates right now, and yeah, I know it's one to just sit down and consume in one sitting, isn't it? Kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Probably with friends and people you love.
Yeah, because I heard it kind of deals with death a bit.
I'm not saying anything about it, because I think to spoil it would be to spoil the experience. Really.
Fair dues.
Crap review, sorry about that. But it's probably only 4 hours worth of, I think there's maybe 3 to 4 hours worth of gameplay. So you could certainly get it done in an afternoon.
Yeah.
And it's probably best when you're done, if you want to suggest to people they play it, don't tell them anything about it. That's all I can say.
No.
Cool.
Okay. Well,
What format is it on? Is it only on PlayStation?
It's on PC as well.
No,
I think it's on Xbone.
Oh,
Is
cool.
it on Xbone? Might be on Xbone.
no, it's PC and PS4.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I might grab it on Steam.
Yeah,
I think it's like 15 quid or something, so it's not unreasonable. It just for the visuals, that price is worth it alone. It's a beautiful looking game.
Cool.
Really lovely.
Is it? Is it kind of a bit of a walking simulator, or is that to sort of not really do it justice?
Please buy the game and experience it for yourself.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, the guys that made this, they made a game called The Unfinished Swan, which I've had on my wish list forever. I was going to get it for PS3, but my PS3 got nicked, so I've been waiting for a good moment, and now they've put this one out. I've had my eye on it for a while. I knew it would be the kind of thing I would enjoy. Haven't really played anything like that this year so far. It's been, I think last year was definitely kind of a pile of shame / play lots of little indie things year. So far this year has been a play too many massive games at once type year. So I will, with that, link into the most recent game I've been playing, which is Prey.
Pray tell.
Yeah, so this is a reimagining of the best game ever made, right?
99%, definitely.
So yeah, the original was... Yeah, a bit of an in-joke there. But yeah, the original Prey was... I can't remember who made it. Was it like 3D Realms or something? And you played like a Cherokee Indian, and you got sucked up into space, and you went on spirit walks
awesome.
and in
it was
through
just
portals.
What an amazing game! Really.
I mean, me explaining it sounds like I'm just like making up a load of rubbish off the top of my head, but
when that
it was
song
cool.
kicks in the bar at the start, oh my god, it was a great game at the time. really a great game. You said this one's a remake of it. It's not a remake of it in any way at all. It's just got the same name.
No, it's got the same.
It's like saying the
It's
Syndicate.
just got the same
it's
name,
like
yeah.
saying the Syndicate FPS was a remake of the Amiga game. It's not. It's just the IP laying around. Somebody's gone, oh, can you throw this?
Yeah. Well, they were going to make Prey 2, which
looked
they
awesome.
showed at E3 one year, which looked cool, and it looked like a kind of Blade Runner running around as futuristic city, bounty hunting different aliens. Yeah, I was well up for that too. So what we've got here is System Shock by way of Arkane Studios, who created Dishonored, and that studio has also inherited several members of the people that made Deus Ex and stuff like that. So yeah, it really is. Well, I've played 3 hours of it so far, and so far it has felt very like System Shock in terms of the things you can do. There are like you can be an engineer and sort of fix things, or you can be a scientist and kind of break down materials and make things, or you can run around as with a shotgun and blow shit up. There are turrets that you can pick up and place where you want. And the enemies are these creatures called the Typhon, and they are like these shape-shifting black viscous apparitions. And they come in different shapes and sizes. The first ones are like little face huggers from Half-Life. You can take those out with a crowbar fairly easily if you're quick enough. But they do like to sort of rush past you, and it creates a very unnerving situation. And yeah, there are bigger versions of these that are called, I forget what they're called, but they're like these bigger versions, more humanoid in form, much more difficult to take down. But you do have a few tools at your disposal. The first of which is this thing called the glue cannon. And what this does is it kind of fires this sort of foam that solidifies on impact. So you can these things are quite sort of slippery and can flee away very easily, but you can kind of root them with it and then use whatever you want, like to bludgeon them or shoot them with a shotgun. But they will, if you shoot them enough, after they've taken a certain amount of damage, the gloop will get shot off, and so they'll be able to escape again. And they do have a habit of running off, which is kind of unnerving because you're just not really sure where they're going to pop up again next. As well as that, the gloop cannon can also be used as like a platform material to kind of get around. I think I explained all this when I went to see it at E3, like they explained all this in a video or so. But it's really cool getting to actually play with it. You also get like there's also some zero gravity elements. The game itself is set in this huge space station called Titus 1, I think, and it's internally and externally consistent. So you can look at a map or through a window and say, "Oh look, there's a dead body out there, and he's got a key card I need." So if you go outside and orientate yourself appropriately, you will go outside and find him. You can also use it to get as a shortcut to get from one area to another, circumventing a lot of horror potentially. Although I'm sure there's some of that outside as well. But yeah, it's so far it's really grabbing me. I've only played 3 hours because it's quite scary, and I think this game's going to take me ages. It's supposed to be quite a big game, and it's going to take me a long time, I think, because after an hour it's like I'm feeling a bit hungry now, or I maybe should watch some TV. But it's not through want of wanting to play the game, because I have found it difficult to pull myself away. But I don't know, it's I don't know, your mileage may vary, but so far I'm having an absolute blast. It's been getting some mixed reviews. I mean, it's averaging out quite highly, but it's been getting some mixed reviews. IGN, I think, in particular, really slagged it on account of its yeah, well, I think they were experiencing crashes, and I'll be fair with you, I have experienced a couple of crashes too. But I don't know. if I can put
I'm
that.
not sure that's entirely... Even Total Biscuit had a thing about this today, and he's not a fan of Metacritic, obviously, because he's an intelligent person.
Yeah, not an idiot like me.
You said that, not me. But he didn't think it was fair for IGN to slate the game and affect its average ratings, which the masses find a barometer for success, just because he had technical issues. And one of his arguments was, in the olden days, you'd have different categories for your ratings. So you could put graphics, gameplay, audio, all excellent, and then have 5 or a 3 or a 2 for technical stuff, because that fucked up for him. Then at least people understand. Because all reviews at the moment, my problem with Metacritic is it becomes sound bites. Nobody cares about the review, they just want the score. And the score isn't enough to know what the person likes, so you can't compare what they like to what you like and see, well, he said he liked it, he also likes this, I like this, I'll give it a go. It just becomes numbers, which is bullshit. But I think IGN slating it for technical issues that they had. You've had them as well. But many people haven't. I don't think that's really that's a good thing. I'd rather slag off IGN than Metacritic. That's where I'm going with that. They're a bunch of tools. Not as bad as Polygon, but, getting there.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. For me, it's, without just getting into a conversation about Metacritic, I generally, like, if I see it's in the green, I'm like, oh, I want to know why it's in the green. And if I see it's in the red, I want to know why it's in the red. And I will read more. But yeah, I guess I do just kind of read those bits. But I saw that technical issues thing, and I was like, yeah, like, I've had a problem with that, but that's got nothing to do with the quality of the game. I mean, sure, you could criticise if it had happened like loads, then I think it would bother me more. But
are you playing it on PC or PS4?
Reload it. PC.
Right. I think if you were having the problems on the PS4, then that would be a much bigger thing. But PCs, there's so many fucking variations, and I'm not excusing a bad port at all, but there are tons of variations. You might have just got an update for your antivirus that's causing it to fall over, or anything else.
Yeah.
There could be a ton of things. It's just a little bit unreasonable.
Yeah, true.
It's a massive house of cards, PCs, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know what he reviewed it on. I wasn't paying attention to that. I assumed it was PC.
It was PC, but there were no review copies, and I think that one of the suggestions has been he's given it a shit score because it didn't work on his PC. He had to get the review out to be relevant with reviews, and there were no review copies because Bethesda don't do review copies anymore, which is a bit
no. Well, I took a punt on this the same way. I don't know if I waited for reviews for Doom. I think I bought Doom before the reviews came out because I just heard the initial word was this is really good. So I just went for it, and I did in this case as well. And I probably will continue to do it with Bethesda because I think they put out quality games most of the time. Like, I mean, to me, Bethesda are now like the stewards of old school PC gaming. They've got Quake, they've got Doom, they've got all these old licenses, and all their games are kind of absolutely those sort of proper PC games. Like the immersive sims and the big open RPGs. They know what they're doing. I trust them, and they've earned my trust by, not holding back review copies because they believe that their game's inferior and they want to sell copies ahead of time, but they've got confidence in their products and they hold it back because they just want to get. They don't, I don't know why exactly. I feel like they worry that perhaps the review scores affect them, so they just don't want to get involved in that whole shenanigans. I don't know. Until they put out a stinker, I'm happy with it.
I think it's their right to prevent review copies going out. And my biggest thing about that is reviews tend to be about the reviewer. Even what we're doing, to some extent, it's us trying to get our personality over. But when it's your job, it is your job to write a review that everybody reads. And if you need to slate the game or say something controversial, or it's just clickbait to get it looked at, you will do that because that's your bread and butter. Obviously, Rob pays us a healthy wage for doing this regularly. But it's if we were reviewers,
Absolutely.
if we were proper official reviewers, we would get substantially more, at least £20 more. And it's a job, it's a business, and I think that's where I would prefer somebody who isn't quite so cynical. I'm cynical myself just by saying that, but somebody like Total Biscuit or some of the people on YouTube who have consistently done it and called people out on stuff. And not been look at what I'm doing. I'm doing it for me. They seem to have a loftier purpose, and that's a bit wanky, but it's not Metacritic. Shall we move on? That's been 20 minutes on that.
Yeah.
Well, I might just pick it up for the Xbox, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All I've got to say on it is that if there have been some negative reviews, most of them are positive. And even a stinking one like that cannot drag the overall consensus down.
Yeah.
So I'll shut up on that.
Good.
But that's all I'll say. Okay. You've also been playing PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds. This has been causing quite a stir.
Yeah.
This is basically Battle Royale, isn't it?
It is. It's another. There's been a load of Battle Royale games recently. DayZ had one a while ago. H1Z1 had one included in its core game that then became a game in its own right called King of the something, King of the blah. And then this guy who's worked on some similar type products previously created this. And it's basically there are 100 players. You spawn in a lobby system. You wait for a minute for all of the players to be there. Then you're in a plane over an island. You parachute out, try and find guns and kill people. On this island, there is a zone that gradually gets smaller, forcing you together so you don't just hide in a tree somewhere. The games are very quick, or not if you're slightly better. But it is... There's been a few that I've wanted to get. There's one called The Culling, which was quite well received when it came out, but has since lost favour. But this one, I've watched a lot of people playing it on Twitch, and it really ticked the box for me. Mainly, and you can't really see this on Twitch, the fucking adrenaline you get when there's two of you running for a house knowing there's a pistol in there, and whoever gets it is going to live and shoot the other one in the face. I find that quite exciting. That probably makes me a psychotic, but there are lots of people playing it, so there's lots of psychotics, and that makes it all right. So yeah, I'm finding it extremely difficult. I'm getting on in life, and my reactions are not what they used to be. But that's why God invented shotguns, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you like Twitch-based shooters with a bit of a plot, it's worth a look. The map is quite simple. It's just a big island with a few villages and some town-y type things. And the notion of being forced into these places as the exclusion zone shrinks around you means there's always something going on and you're always on edge. So we'll see if I'm still playing it next week. There's been other games out since then, but I'm kind of enjoying it, and I can see why it's got such a big... a lot of people playing it. You can also play it solo with a partner or in a squad of 4. So if you don't know anybody, you can just free-for-all it. If you've got a mate, you can do duos, and I think I'd really like to do that. I think that would open up some gameplay possibilities. Or you can go the full squad route and do 4 of you.
4 versus what?
Well, it's still 100 players, but you have 25 teams of 4. And if there's duos, then there's 50 pairs. And if it's solo, then there's 100 individuals. There's some really great Twitch stuff on it. The other thing, although I've said it's Twitch, it's really about if you can get the jump on someone, you will kill them, regardless of how many hours they've been playing. If you sneak up on them in a house or lob a grenade through a window while they're trying to loot something, you will kill them. It's not pay to win. You don't, if you've got a better connection, it doesn't really help. Yeah. Shotgun helped me. There was earlier I got down to the last 15, which was the highest for me, and I'd shot a guy and he must have been swearing his head off because I'd really ambushed him. Then I went back to hide behind my tree, just tilted round because it's third-person view to start with, and there was some fucker on the other side of the tree. Oh, how I shot myself. I fucking shot myself. And we did the gun dance and shot each other. I shot him. Was in absolute hysterics that he'd been there. Just, I could hear him reloading or something, and just looked round the tree and he's there, and he must have done the same to me. And then somebody shot me, and it's just... It's like 20 minutes of looting for like 30 seconds of, ah! And that's all right. That's okay. Because you always get that, ah! Instead of spawn, die, which some other games provide.
That's it for me.
So the games tend to last about 30 minutes or so?
If you can get down... If you can last that long, yeah, they could last. I've played a few... My first game I got down to 17th out of 100, and I'm consistently getting 20, and that's probably 20, 30 minutes. But most of that is hiding, running between buildings, looting stuff, and heading towards the kind of the massive scrum of death at the end. Whereas others will just all jump into the main base or big military base and have the death match to start with. I'd rather bide my time a bit, get well tooled up, and then hit people as they start rushing for the safe zone at the end. And that's okay, however you want to play it.
And do you think that there's a curve, like a big learning curve involved, like as in...
No, not at all.
Like, do you think it requires a lot of investment, basically, is what I'm trying to say?
A lot of...
Because, like, does it require a big investment, to get into it, really? Because...
I think it just requires
I just
patience.
kind of feel like...
if you want to get in and win all the time, then don't buy this game. If you want to get in and be sitting in a corner going, please don't open this door, please don't open this door, because you like that sense of dread and anxiety, which, I don't know, it's like a different kind of adrenaline. It's all adrenaline. It's definitely all adrenaline. But
So is it kind of like first-person shooter survival? Because now you get survival modes, but this is a true... survival mode, but as a game,
the
as a default,
that's
sort
what
of.
it is, but without poor Oscar-winning actresses or whatever. Oh, controversial.
Yeah,
and it's just battle royale basically. That's all it is. It's like that movie.
Awesome.
And I don't think it requires. All it requires is patience and to not get frustrated when you don't get to that first gun first and die. But you don't have to sit and watch the rest of the game. You just get kicked out, go to another lobby, start another one. There's no, this person shot this. It's just, it's very personal, really. You don't feel like you've been shit.
Okay.
That's the main bit. There's no people laughing at you at the end. They may all be Twitch streaming it and laughing
It's
at you
more
there,
like...
but there's no... You don't come away going, oh, everybody said I was shit. You know you were shit, you just try again.
Is it more like you're laughing at how far you've got in it and going, oh my god, like you say, you've got up to 15th, and you're like, and then, oh shit, I've got this far, I've got this far,
yes.
I've got this far, oh, I'm dead, oh my god.
I was shocked.
Next lobby.
I was absolutely laughing my tits off at the guy at the other side of the tree. That was enough for me. I had a good time then. Even just, being ambushed by someone and you get a shotgun blast right next to your head because he's behind you and you haven't looked behind you. That's enough for me as well. It's just fun. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, my only other thought is that it's the worst name of a video game ever.
It's pretty shite, isn't it?
It's pretty fucking shit. But it's branding, I suppose, and I don't know, I guess
but it's not really any worse than John Carpenter's The Thing, is it?
Oh, it's just a horror. It's like a handle, though, isn't it? PlayerUnknown.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is that like his call sign or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the identity, isn't it? You can't.
I'm guessing he had like a certain community following that.
He did.
But
just because we don't know who it is doesn't necessarily mean it's a.
Because we're old.
He's done it right, whatever he's done, because it seems to be spreading like a virus through my friends list. So.
Yes.
Yeah. But if I can get over the whole early access thing, then I may well get involved.
No, I absolutely do not think it is a game for you, sir. Absolutely not.
No.
No. No, buy Edith Finch instead. This is not for you, Bobby. Absolutely not for you.
No.
No.
No, I have a feeling it's not.
I think it would be an install, play for an hour and a half, and then get a refund thing. Just save yourself that time.
Maybe I'll just do that then. I'll try and get through this quickly. We are running out of time. Nioh, I've been playing a bit of that. I picked it up in the sale over Easter for the bargain price of 35 quid on PlayStation Store. Well, it was cheaper than it was on Amazon, and it was like, I was thinking, oh, this will be the game I'll play after Horizon. Still playing that. Nioh isn't, no. It's a PS4 exclusive, as one of many there have been this year. This is Team Ninja, who did Ninja Gaiden back in the day, that famously caused me a little bit of a problem getting through. I did finish it though eventually, but I thought this is their attempt at like doing Dark Souls. So I thought, oh well, that'll be good then, because that's like two great things that, you know, I'd love to see how Team Ninja handle this, and the end result is it's fucking hard. I mean, I knew a little bit about Dark Souls. I mean, really, I should just play fucking Dark Souls, to be honest. Yeah, because I do appreciate the idea of it. It's like, it turns what would normally just be a hack and slash RPG into more of a survival game. I mean, I'm preaching to the converted here, you know, the whole idea of bonfires and, you know, the fact that you can rest, but it repopulates the level. But the idea is that that's not a problem, because you can, as you become more powerful, you can mince through them to get to the next place you need to get to.
Mince through them?
But it just...
Oh,
it just
I'm
means
going to smite him with my chopper.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sorry, sir. That probably needs to be cut a bit.
No, absolutely not.
Dark Soul mincing. I don't remember that special level one. I don't remember that DLC.
It's fabulous, darling.
Oh, you think I'm going to edit this? Yeah, but there are layers and layers and layers of mechanics. But I played through like it's quite weird. There's like a prologue section where you're up in the Tower of London. And I got through all that, and I killed the first boss first time. I was like, this isn't so difficult. And then it puts you then in like a little dojo tutorial area, and then it puts you into the first proper area, which is like this village that's burning. And and then I got to the end of that after about 4 hours. It wasn't a very big map, but I persevered because I was quite enraptured with the combat and the mechanics. And then I got to the final boss of that area, and it's this fucking thing, and it's in a room that's like about as big as my room, but it's got these two bloody wrecking balls. So I'm like, holy fuck.
Getting balls in your face
like,
again,
how am I supposed to... Yeah. I asked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
I think
like,
you did last
shit,
time as well, didn't you?
I must...
Oh, well, each to their own.
Yeah. But I think I must have missed something in my training to get to the boss. I think I need to be dodging more or blocking more, because I was dodging a lot, and when there's nowhere to dodge to, you can't really rely on that strategy anymore. So there's lots of different weapons to try as well. So as you're sort of like slowly making progress through this game, you're kind of experimenting with different weapons, putting different points in bits and pieces. Trying to find out what the ideal balance is between armor, stamina, and offensive capability, because all of that stuff makes a real difference. And that's another thing that is part of the whole Dark Souls thing. But yeah, so I've put it down for now, and I've decided I'm going to try and focus on finishing Horizon, because that's generally just a much nicer game to play in terms of my patience level and
you don't
enjoyment.
get balls. You don't have a pair of balls on your chin, is that what you...
I haven't met the giant testicle dinosaur yet. No. You got a PS4 as well, didn't you, Ian?
I did, yes.
How are you finding that?
I'm enjoying it. Uncharted 4 I'm playing Until Dawn, and Horizon Zero Dawn Zero, whatever it's called. Yeah, they're all okay.
Pretty shit name for a game as well. But
yeah, it's a
cool.
It's a little Far Cry for me, but
what Horizon?
Yeah. And here's the thing: here's a little base, and here's a little base, here's a little cluster of things, a little cluster.
I have found the bandit camps a little bit tedious, in that you are generally very ill-equipped for them, and you are kind of forced to stealth your way through it quite a bit. Well, I have anyway. I've tried the gung-ho approach, and it doesn't work very well.
I mean, it looks beautiful.
Okay. All right. Well, just a few bits of news, some of which struck today, in fact. Mass Effect apparently is going to go on hiatus after the disappointing reception of Andromeda.
That's why they do
I think
that.
a lot of those. Why?
I think they push it out early and rush the devs so it has shit sales so they can park the IP and try other stuff without everybody going, "Oh, I want another Mass Effect."
Oh, conspiracy.
No, not.
Yeah. Then everyone forgets they build up a bit of a.
It's sort of like, I see what you're saying. It's like, you wanted more Mass Effect. Are you sure you wanted more Mass Effect?
Yeah,
Here's some more Mass Effect.
Andromeda. No, yeah, let's do something else.
Yeah. Why don't we just do, we'll put you guys on FIFA, and you can go on Battlefront, and, you guys, you can go and do some Plants vs. Zombies, yeah? We know, bankable franchises. We've got plenty of those. We don't need to be taking risks on these intricately constructed worlds that were created by talented people. To be honest, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. You can't, capture lightning twice. And Mass Effect, as great as it was, it definitely had problems. And it was probably just as well that 3 was the last game I played, to be honest, because after that whole debacle, bollocks to it. The other news this week, or today in fact, was that Square Enix are selling off IO Interactive, and those are the guys that make Hitman. So it looks like there won't be any more Hitman, or at least Square won't be making any more Hitman. And bearing in mind the kind of budget that game needs, that series needs generally,
the last one,
I'm not sure.
The last one was quite successful though, wasn't it? The individual ones that made a big game, that did all right, didn't it?
Well, not enough for them to want to keep hold of the IP.
I think Square might be in trouble.
No, apparently, Square have posted really good earnings, but I think they know where the earnings are coming from, and they're looking at what they can afford to ditch so that they can continue to have the success they've had this year. I think Tomb Raider did really well for them. I think Final Fantasy did really well for them. But I think it looks like they're selling IO Interactive, and if someone else makes a bid on them, then good for those guys. They get to keep their jobs, but it still remains in question what happens to the Hitman IP. Does Square try and keep hold of it and make fucking mobile games out of it and films? Or do they sell that along with them the way that THQ got rid of a lot of their stuff? Which leads me on to the next story. But, any other thoughts on Square or IO and Hitman and stuff?
Not really. I don't know. Square are a weird company since they became Square Enix. They're not the Squaresoft of old. Who knows? Yeah. I just thought they were in trouble because, like I said in a while back, the whole Final Fantasy remake, Final 7 remake, to me seems like their end game plan. It seems like it's the thing guaranteed to print money with, and you wouldn't do that because they've teased and held off on it and re-released and HD re-released for so long. To actually put this out there makes me wonder whether they're a little worried about their company, regardless of what they're posting.
It's a sign of weakness.
It's more than that. It is the in case of emergency smash glass and press button.
It certainly explains why they're making like 3 games out of it. so they can keep that gravy train going.
Exactly. So who knows what may happen? I mean, IO might be buying Square Enix.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I don't think they would. Who would do that?
And the final bit, which I sort of teased just then, was this is a good news story to leave it on. Darksiders 3 got announced, and this looked like all but like a thing that was never going to happen after THQ sold off the IP to Nordic Games. And so Nordic Games recently put out a remaster of Darksiders 2, but no one could have said for sure that they were actually building a third game in the series, which is being done by the team that is made up of a lot of people who made the original 2 games, and also recently made a game called Chronos for the Oculus Rift. Which was a similar kind of third-person Zelda-y type thing. So yeah, I played the first 2 Darksiders. They're really good. They're like they're like Zelda. I'm informed. I've not played Zelda, but basically hack and slash, but with a bit of Metroidvania going on. Get to ride around, loot drops, big bosses, lots of puzzles. They're really neat games, and I enjoyed both the first and the second game, and in this one you will be playing Fury. The conceit of these games is that you're playing the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, not the proper 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, the 4 Horsemen as imagined in this setting. So first you played as Wrath, I think, then you played as Death, and in this one you're playing as Fury. And it looks like she's a female character with a big chainy whip thing, so maybe some God of War type stuff going on. So definitely looking forward to that. I think it's supposed to be out next year, so yeah.
I'm, in terms of purchases, I know I should buy a PS4. I know there are some really nice games out there at the moment, but I'm going to wait because I seem to be going slightly crazy game-wise. I'm contemplating buying a Wii U.
What, for Zelda?
Oh, for reasons. Yeah, no, not necessarily for Zelda, but it's just the types of games that I feel I want to play.
Okay.
I'm finding there's a distinct lack of light party games, style games, things that you can just stick on for a bit, have a couple of friends over, have a laugh. I think that might be why I've been coming slightly game jaded. I mean, these big IPs, they're fantastic and they're amazing. They suck you in and just, it's like going to the cinema almost, but you're in control of a really inept main character because you keep dying over and over. But I miss playing the sofa games, with like either one other person there in front. So I think I might be picking up maybe like a second-hand Wii U or something and grabbing a couple of those games and seeing where they get me.
You can get
whether that sort of jump starts or something else.
You can get Darksiders for the Wii U. I just googled Wii U just to see how much they were.
Well, that's the thing. I'll get other consoles. I mean, I will be getting a PS4 definitely.
You've got to get Breath of the Wild if you get the Wii U.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get that for the Wii U. Pick up the Bayonetta double pack as well. But I mean, there's just so many. I mean, there's like a game called Overcooked, which is basically you're a chef. I don't know if you remember the old Point Blank shoot 'em up games. Very much in that sort of vein.
I know what Overcooked is.
The old Konami style thing. Yeah, but stuff like that. I mean, I miss playing games like that. And it just seems. I know Nintendo are batshit insane. But there is a very tiny method to their madness. I just wish that they would accept and work with big IPs as well and work with third-party titles. Because I think if they combine them both, then, they would have something quite nice. But I think they do kind of have a point with wanting to put their type of gaming still out into the world. And whilst they seem to be mental in the fact that they want to charge, 300, 400 quid for basically a souped up 3DS that is severely underpowered in the Switch, I can kind of see why they want to stick to their guns. I just wish they were better at doing it.
Put Dark Souls on the Switch, and I'll buy that. I'll play the shit out of that. 4 hours a day on the train. Fucking hell. I would love that.
I would welcome some game discussion of party games, Marcus. I think we do the latest big thing too regularly on this show. We've got our niche games that we play a lot, but it would be nice to have things that to discuss, because I'm completely out of this. I sit at home and play games on my own in my pants. Enjoy that image, and that's what I do. I don't have people around, and they wouldn't come round. They wouldn't come round
to do
for
live
that.
Beach volleyball.
Even if we were reenacting that scene from Rob's game when he had a pair of balls in his face, nobody would come round to do that. So it would be. I think it would be nice to broaden our spectrum of games. What we talk about.
Yeah, I just feel as though, I mean, it's mainly because I was thinking a lot about how gaming used to be, because when the first PlayStation 2 was probably the start of going down the dark side, where you had less of those games. PS1 had quite a varied catalogue. You had shoot 'em ups, you had this, you had that. Half of them were janky.
Serial cabling two PSXs together and playing Doom. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And there were so many different varieties of games and everything else. And I think that in the pursuit of trying to make gaming this big juggernaut where it could rival the film industry, and they seem to be pushing to do that. The games cost millions to make now. They have budgets, and it's just ridiculous. And the end result is spectacular. But I think they've lost something along the way, much in the same way that Hollywood kind of has.
Play Edith Finch.
I think I will, on that recommendation, after my little heartfelt Oscar message.
And once we've all played it, let's spoiler the shit out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Well, I guess that brings us full circle then for this episode of the Not Playing podcast. And we'll leave it there until next time. This has been the Not Playing podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself, Marcus and Iain talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching podcast, and Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening podcast. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet out or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
With no booty. My friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck. You suck. I suck